How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm not going to ask you much because I've already spoken to you several times today.
I know. What else are we going to talk about today? We've already put our 2 hours in.
How you doing, baby?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
A typical Tuesday night here in the great state of Georgia. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I fed some kids. I worked out after work. I don't know. I had a pretty good night so far. How about you? What's going on? What have you been doing since I talked to you an hour ago?
I know, right? I got
Right.
pretty for you.
You look beautiful.
Thank
I'm
you.
assuming you have some beautiful dress on. I can't see the whole thing,
Look,
but
look, okay, look what dress I put on for you. Hold on. Do
uh-huh. Yep, I like that one. That's
you remember that
beautiful.
dress? Remember this dress?
Mm-hmm. There might be a few pictures of
Mhm.
that. But yes, you always look so lovely.
Yes. I feel like the world's watching us again with cameras.
A little bit maybe. And well, it's a different week, right? I mean, some news came out last weekend or last weekend, I guess. And
Hmm.
secret's out, I guess.
Yes, it is. Look at that smile.
Oh my gosh.
I
So
miss that smile.
I miss your smile.
Okay.
Well, this
All
is
right, we're
odd
getting all
that people are
gushy here.
listening to
We're
it.
getting all gushy.
Yeah, I know. It's weird that people are actually watching us talk. This I've not done much of, so that's why I look a little
I
goofy.
know it's your first live, and I know you. So, for those of you that are watching, Troy is not a social media guy. He's not huge on it, and so we.
I'm not a
So
hater. I'm just not familiar in this world, and so I think I got my Instagram together when the show came out, and I'm trying to get cool and hip. I
yeah,
am just kind of a dad after all,
yeah. Well, I think between the girls telling you, the girls meaning his daughters,
right?
and and me every once in a while. We got you on Instagram, Troy.
Yes, you have been very good with tutorials, Karen. I will say that. You've taught me many things about the social media world, and I thank you for that.
Of course, always anything for you.
So,
Oh my God, I'm getting hot. Sorry, guys.
yeah, me too. So
So
you
wait,
told me
wait.
there's,
Connor, your honor said Troy's a badass. I'm going to second that.
I'll take it, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm assuming that's a good thing.
It is.
Yeah.
It is love. It is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Okay. Let me get a little comfortable because I'm all hot and bothered here. So
Here we go. Let's figure out what we're going to do. Well, listen, we did talk a little bit ahead of the time, didn't we? And I think that there were some questions that people sent to you.
there is.
And
Oh, let's say hi to Scott and Stephanie first. They're on. So
oh,
hey,
hi,
Scott. Hey, Stephanie.
Scotty. Hi, Stephanie.
Yes. Yeah. So thank you guys for joining us. I'm trying to wave to everyone. I'm trying to I usually am so good at this and I'm on it and I can wave at people and I can answer questions, but you have me a little flustered. So
Aha. Aha. Yeah, it
I'm
looks like
sorry.
Philip was doing
Okay.
something still. Yeah, Joel's on.
Oh, hey,
Scotty says,
Joel.
hey, hey. Yeah, the old crew getting back together. Love it.
Yay!
Love it.
Yeah, so I kind of put out there for people to send us questions.
Right?
And hey, yes, hi, Scott. And we did get a few questions. Um, so shall we start with those questions?
Yes, please. Let's answer some questions.
Okay. Oh, P-Man 103, you two are so perfect. Thank you. I think so
Oh,
too.
that's my buddy Punkage. Hey, buddy. Now I'm gonna start seeing people that I know. I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, Punkage and I used to work together. So, anyways,
Well,
small
hey,
world. Hey, Punkage.
yes. Hey, Joel. Okay. Okay, let me catch my breath here. Not that I haven't.
Chris is on the whole game.
I'm sorry. Troy flusters me. Okay. He knows this. I'm like a 16-year-old girl with him. Okay. Okay, at least 19.
Legal, yes, please. Can we just keep it that way?
Okay. All right. So first question, okay,
Yes.
is from and we'll see who takes it. Okay.
Okay.
LV127.
Sounds
So
like a robot. kidding. No.
Okay. Was it lust or love at first sight for both of you? Do you want to go first?
Yes, I will go first. Um, well, of course there were some lusty thoughts. How can you not have lusty thoughts? But
Troy Matthew.
I, I think I had thought about this one differently earlier. Well, there was certainly a physical attraction, of course, so maybe that falls in the category of a little lustiness. But I think that anybody that was there and some of the folks that were actually in the house with us or on this, in this live thing, and then people that watched the show. I mean, it was probably, as we were making that dinner the first night, we really getting to know each other, just having some actual time to talk. I mean, it was, a whole strange first day. And so, yeah, I mean, it was more, I think, love than lust, I would say, because, that's, I don't know, that's certainly my first year when I mean, I like to get to know people and I want to know what makes people tick. And, I think you and I have talked about this many times, and we've talked about the whole show and just meeting and everything like that. I mean, for me, it was definitely the sort of syncing up of our values, right? We talked a lot about our kids and, wherever they're talking about. I was pretending not to know how to cook just so you could teach me. And that
And
was,
Troy knows how to cook people, just so you know.
but yeah. So how about you, Karen? What was it like for you?
So when I first walked in the house, I didn't immediately see you because you were kind of like on the corner tucked in.
Yeah.
But I quickly like made my eyes around the room or around the back patio that we were in.
Yeah.
And so you know the answer to this. But like little bells went off like ding, 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 like the little slot machines. But I was still going to leave myself open. But then,
Smart.
like you said, once we started cooking and I started seeing, oh, wow, he has so many of the same values. We have so many of the things. We spoke about family. We spoke about things that we liked, how we grew up. I think it's so funny is Scott says the skinny jeans got him. So that
Don't be jealous of my skinny white pants, Scott. You know you want a pair. I'm going to send you some. He'd look so good. They'd be about 4 inches too short for him, but that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was just so much in common that it's so funny because, so I don't know if a lot of people know. So Troy grew up in a small town in Iowa.
True.
I grew up in big city, or at least a bigger city, metropolitan city, in a very conservative Catholic family. But all the same values as to family
Yeah.
and how we grew up and our morals and just so many things that we were so compatible with. So we just started getting to know that through the dinner, and I was like, wow, it's so crazy because we're from two separate sides, like two different worlds, yet we're so alike, and in the way we were raised we're so alike. We both have friends from childhood, that are still so, part of our lives, very strong part of our lives. And then for sure, the second day that we were there and you came inside and we were sitting on the couch and we just had this long conversation and I was like, man, I'm done. That's it.
Well, that's the part that doesn't really show up on the show too, right? Because there was so much time to talk. Like it was like the longest first date in the whole history of the universe. It was just hours and hours. Like hurry up and wait to film the next thing or do the next thing, or Yvonne would come in and break it up. So I mean, that's where all those real deeper connections I think were made for everybody on the show. Friendship and otherwise. But
Absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And we had, which I love, and we still have to this day. So Troy either travels here to visit me in Florida, in South Florida, or I go to Atlanta. So we take turns. And I already miss you, but um, we still have our tradition to this day of breakfast. And those are our best talks.
That is true. That is
Yeah.
that is the best information exchange of the day.
Yeah,
Even if at times I sit at the table and read books that you hand me while you're cooking. And for some reason you do most of the cooking. I think you're a better cook than I am, and certainly breakfast is your wheelhouse. But yeah, that is definitely true. We've got our little traditions. That's right. A little coffee time, coffee talk.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our best tradition. You know how to cook, Troy. Come on.
I know, but you do it so much better. And your eggs
Because
are
I like
fun.
to take care of you, that's why. So, okay, let's go to the next question because
Yeah,
I
we
don't want
beat
to
that
take 10
one.
minutes
Let's,
to
we
answer.
won't go
And then
so
we can
long and
get
everything.
into some background stuff as well. You know, I'm sure people want to know how you got on the show. And so,
Uh-huh.
okay, so let's start with the second question. So, um, Aldo Hernandez um, asked the question in Spanish, so I'm going to take this one, okay?
Smart.
And he just said, ¿Cómo va todo? Which is basically, how is everything going? So, I mean, everything is going fantastic. Troy?
How's everything going with that guy? I mean, listen, we're still doing our real lives. I've been very busy with work, as you well
Yeah,
know. February was a big, and I traveled a lot, so people probably saw that on Instagram. I was in California, and I had just a lot of stuff going on. My oldest son, Matty Ice, he lives out in San Diego. So after my meeting in Palm Springs, and I was out there for, I don't know, 10 or 11 days. It was a long time I was at the meeting. And then because I have to go early and stay late and everything. And then I spent 5 days in San Diego with him. So yeah, February has been tough, but yeah, it's going great. I mean, it's an easy trip back and forth. I mean, it's about what, an hour and a half, 40-minute flight. It's quick, and and we both live in pretty good hubs. So, and apparently a lot of people travel to Florida from Atlanta. That seems to be a thing. So, seems to be a flight like every hour
yeah.
of the day. So yeah, I mean, like I guess we have normal lives. You've got your stuff that you do and your kids, and I have all my brood, and there's always something cooking there. But yeah,
Yeah,
so I mean, things are going great. We're just making it work like everybody does. Figure it out.
absolutely. We're making it work.
Yeah,
Yes. Okay, next question.
yeah. Here we
All
go.
right, next question, my love. Um, what do each of you, so I'm sorry, this is from Lynn24. What do each of you like most about each other?
I love that you live in Florida, right on
You
the
love that
beach.
I live on the beach.
I do love that you live on the beach. Our private beach, Karen. It is the best.
I know. I know it is. It's like our little beach. So yeah, I live on the beach, and part of my condo is we have a private beach area. So that's
Well, I'll go. Yes, I'll go first, Karen. You ready? You're gonna love this one. I'm
yes.
thinking
Tell me.
one of my many favorite things about you is you are so thoughtful, and everybody that watches show, anybody that knows me, our friends that were on the show with us know how much my kids mean to me, right? I mean, I've been doing this by myself for so long, and very, very important. And so my oldest daughter, Emma, her birthday was this last week, and actually when I got back from my trip, what was in our little mailbox but a little box from Karen, and it was like, well, actually a FedEx, but it was like, a little gift for Emma, and I hope she texted you today because she was going to. She got her little bracelet and chocolate and a card, and I mean, so you're so thoughtful, and not just for me, but for my kids too, because there have been beautiful little things, thoughtful things that have showed up in the mail in particular, which I guess that's your go-to because who doesn't love getting stuff in the mail these days? So that is very thoughtful, and that means so much to me because they mean so much to me, and I just think that's a wonderful attribute that you have, Karen. I love that you do that. So that's probably one of my favorite things.
Hmm.
Right?
Cry.
Yeah, I nailed it.
Well, I mean, listen, I love your kids. You know, I love your kids. They're awesome. They're amazing kids. I'm going to tell you, and I've told Troy this. So the Petrick bunch are very, very, very close knit. They're super tight. The girls are amazing. Noah's amazing. Matt is in California, so I haven't met Matt yet. I'm looking forward to meeting Matt and Helen, his girlfriend Helen, soon. But when I go to Atlanta, so the girls are always there because they live with you. Noah has gone a few times, but they're a very tight knit family. Troy has been an amazing father, and I'm not saying this because he's told me the stories, but his children on our own special time away from Troy, no reason that they have to tell me anything good about Troy, have told me like beautiful things about him. That to me has meant so much because I care about Troy so much, and to hear that what he means to his children from his children without him around him means so much. And as to how, or shows so much as to what a great father he is. But anyways, the whole point is that the Petrie Bunch is a very close-knit family. They're very difficult to penetrate. And that group has made me feel welcome, has made me feel part of the family. I have never from the first moment felt uncomfortable around them. So, you know, I absolutely adore them. So
I love that. That's good. I'm glad that you feel that way. They are cool cats. But yeah, and I think what you're talking about is we have so many like inside stories and jokes and everything, and I think it can be a little overwhelming for people because it's a lot. And as people saw on the show, I mean, I think I have a pretty big personality. Clearly, Noah has a big personality, and spoiler alert, he's probably the most like me. But and I think one of the stories
no.
one of the stories you're talking about is I think when you and he spent a little time on let's just call it a grocery run, Karen Chowdhury, that you guys are going to get some groceries. Not that he's 19 and home for the weekend. But I love that. And I love,
Don't tell on me.
and the fact that they feel comfortable sharing that with you, I think speaks volumes of just kind of,
Mm-hmm.
what they thought. And, a lot of that actually, well, yeah, a lot of that happened even before, anybody saw the show. I mean, the kids didn't even see the show and saw that part of it too, at least the girls, and even Noah didn't really see what was happening with us because he's over at the other house. So
Exactly.
anyways,
Yes.
okay.
So what do I like about you the most? I mean, initially Troy's personality is great. Like he has a big personality. It's great. He's funny. He makes me laugh, which is so important to me. Like literally, when we are together, I am laughing from like the minute he picks me up at the airport or I pick him up until, our days, which are always too short, too little amount of days. We're just laughing and he just has me like, basically with a smile. And what made me really, really fall for Troy is he's a great family man. He's an amazing father and he has a great heart. So, and he's pretty sexy.
Yeah, sexy old with my gray hair. My beard has
No,
gotten
you're
so much
not.
hair.
Stop it. I love that gray hair. Don't you
Mm.
ever do anything with it. Okay, let's move on here.
We have to move on, yes.
Let's move on. Okay. Troy. You know what? Let's throw a funny one in.
Oh, please, yeah.
Scott, our castmate, sent not one but two questions.
I can only imagine what Scott would like to know.
So I'm gonna give the easier one first, which he just sent that in like maybe half an hour before we went live. So
Okay.
why is it all about Troy?
Ah,
Scott,
that is
it's
just unkind, this guy. Why is he being so mean? Scott, why? Where's the love? Scott knows it's not all about me. It's all about Scott, actually. We were on the show. Everybody knows that. That guy talked more than anybody on the
but I
show.
think he's asking me why is it all about Troy?
Oh, I thought he was giving me a bunch of stuff.
I think unless he wants to clarify because he's on me. I mean, he's on me.
Whoa.
I'm sorry, I can't think straight when you're around. He's on here. It's always going to be about Troy for me, Scott. Always, that's my man. It's always going to be about him. He comes first for me.
There you go, Scotty. Sorry, buddy. Eat your heart out.
Okay. And the second question he asked, which I'm just going to ask. I'm just going to say it, but I'm not going to answer it, Scott. Have you seen Troy naked?
Oh my God. Well, Scott, I'm glad you asked that question because tonight, for the first time in history, I'm actually joking. That's a funny question, Scott.
Yeah, but we're not going to give an answer and we're just going to move on from that one.
Yeah, I think we should. Let's keep it rated G. Thanks, Scott.
Yeah. Yes. I love this. So Christy Walters says, you guys are amazing. My husband and I loved you both from Canada. So I'm wondering if the show's out in Canada.
Oh, Canada. Yes. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope so. I mean, isn't HBOMAX everywhere?
I would think so. So I would love, I mean, she can answer. She's on here. So is my mom, your dad on in Canada? I would love to know. Would you love to know that?
Yeah, well, the Olympics are over now too, so now everybody can binge My Mom, Your Dad now that they're not watching the Olympics. And
Absolutely. I think it's like under 6 hours. So, okay, let's move on.
yeah, more questions.
Yes. Okay. Um, what is your favorite memory so far together?
Hmm. Shall I go first?
Go ahead.
Well, when you came earlier in the fall, when the weather was still very nice, I was able to take Karen on my motorcycle, which it got referenced a few times in the show. And Karen is, to put it mildly, doesn't have a lot of experience with motorcycles. And I told her, I said, I am the greatest guy to go on a motorcycle ride with you, especially if you've not done a lot of it, if you've never done it, And I don't think it made you super nervous. I mean, I think it's just something you hadn't really done. But to me, there's so many things about that. I mean, one, it's something I love to do. And I certainly love to do it with somebody else if they're into it. I will say you fit on the back of that bike real well. It's a good spot for you. And, I just remember that day being, honestly, like the weather was beautiful. It was just kind of a free and easy day. The sun was shining, the wind was blowing. I mean, we rode through some, I live in a really, I think, a lovely part of Georgia, trees,
Mhm.
kind of country a little bit. There's a lot of horses out and horse farms out where I live. So I don't know. That day to me, Karen, seems like that should have been a scene from the show because it was pretty romantic. It was beautiful, to do. And, when we got back, I think it was just a big, a good first for you and a good experience for both of us. So that was probably by far one of my favorite memories so far.
That actually is my favorite. As
Ah,
memories. So, I mean, we have so many memories, but that we've made, but that one specifically, if I have to say my number one would definitely, I had never ridden on a motorcycle, and Troy took me for the first time, and I didn't want to come back. It was so much fun. It was such a great time. I can't wait till the weather warms up so we can go some more
yeah.
because I loved it. I ended up like so loving it. Um, and I think my second one, I'm going to throw a second one in.
I have a second one too.
Okay. Is I have I'm a little nutso for Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
And Troy indulged me and took me to this whole little shop that's all Christmassy and Christmas trees. That was over Christmas when I was over there, and Christmas time. And he patiently was so wonderful in the store. Like, he didn't rush me. He let me look through all my little knickknacks and
Yeah.
all the little craziness. And then, this is in his town, which his town is such an adorable little town. Then we kind of like were in this back room, and then they were playing music, and I don't know why it always seems like we're in a movie, Troy.
I know. I'm like, we were in the back
You
room.
know what
All
I'm
this
about to
beautiful
say.
furniture. I'm like, is there like a camera going? It was like the most like romantic moment because we were both like, this is so beautiful. It was just the two of us. Like the place was crowded, and all of a sudden we're just alone in this huge space. I'm like, how did this happen? But I don't know. I feel like they cleared
And
it
then
out
we
for us.
started slow dancing by ourselves.
Oh gosh, I can be romantic sometimes. Okay, you want to hear my second one?
You are, but listen, before the next one, I have to say Emma got on, so we have to say hi to Emma.
What? Hi,
Yes, she
Emma.
got on. Hey, Emma. That's Troy's oldest daughter.
Oh,
Hello, beautiful.
man, what's she out doing tonight? She's not here, so I don't know if she's on the road somewhere. So,
Yes. Gonna say
anyways,
love.
hi, Emma. Uh, so my second one, Karen, I think it was the first time I was there. It had to have been but I'm thinking about, and honestly, I don't remember the name of the restaurant because I'm not very smart with things like this because it was so high class. But do you remember the Italian place we went to in
Mm-hmm.
Miami? We don't know what was
Mm-hmm.
that place called, or should we not say? You can say that, right?
No.
Yeah. God,
No.
it was. All I can say was just one of the most elegant, wonderful restaurants, and you can take the boy off the farm, but it's hard to take the farm out of the boy. And so I just remember like having to have the menu explained to me by you and even some other people. I think it was funny. I think they got the joke a little bit too, but the food was great and all that kind of stuff. But I just remember that being once again just one of those like that beautiful. That restaurant was so beautiful, the table we had, just the way, it was obviously a pretty fancy schmancy place, which I'm not used to, but we got all dressed up and it was so nice. So that's just another, like, I don't know, fancy memory that one sticks out for me a lot too. It was just a great night, It's a nice drive down there and Miami's beautiful. And anyways, that was my second.
That was a great night. Okay, so before we go on the questions, I want to ask you, how did you guys get on the show? I know the answer, but maybe people don't know.
Well, so my kids were involved, and the longer answer for me was an Amazon. So when I got introduced to the show, Emma and I were involved together with it, and Emma and I went through a bunch of interviews, and it was supposed to be she and I on the show. And Emma was, I think she would have been great. She's adorable. She would have just, she's like she's got a big personality, and Emma and I, of all my friends, are kind of like best friends, like just, I don't know why, just I think it's kind of her age. When I moved to Georgia the first time, she and I had some time, that just the two of us for a while, and that was kind of fun. But anyways, and then at the very sort of last minute, I mean, literally like within a week of us going to California, the producers called, too many girls on the show. They had your daughter, they had Alex, they had, Whitney, they had all these girls and just not enough boys. And they're like, do you have a son? I'm like, yeah, I do have a son. His name's Noah. And of course, I thought maybe he was a little too young because he was only 18 at the time that we did the show. And I had a feeling this would be a good fit for him because he just sort of has that personality. And if people didn't pick up on the show about him, he's a pretty confident dude and he will literally try anything. He'd be like, why not? So I don't know. That's kind of how it happened for me, how we ended up on the show together. And really how Noah ended up, because it was just kind of a last minute kind of thing. And he already had a bunch of plans for the summer because he had just graduated from high school. But I'm so glad that he did. And I'm sure everybody that's on this call, that especially if those of us that were on the show together, I mean, it's funny for me to watch myself. The thing I learned about myself is just I'm a lot more demonstrative than I thought. Like there's just a lot going on all the time when I talk. But when I watch the show, and I've only watched it once, for me, it was just watching Noah. I mean, I just couldn't. That was the favorite part of the show by far for me, just because he's my kid. So I don't know. I don't know why I threw that in there, but that was how it happened for me and how the show happened when I watched it. But yeah, I mean, that's a better question to ask Noah. Is like, how'd you end up on the show? He'll be like, I don't know. Like, Dad asked me in the last minute and jumped on a plane everywhere. Because that's how a lot of things work out for this guy. Just stuff kind of falls into his lap. And I've told this story many times, but his choices were either do a reality show with his dad in California or go with his two best friends to Italy with their parents for like 3 weeks. These things just happened to him. But I'm glad he did it. And we'll always have this memory and this experience together. So it's pretty awesome.
Yes. And I can tell you, I have, I'm sorry, get those questions down. There's other questions that are coming in. I
Thank
have
you.
friends of mine.
Yeah.
That could, that are basically could be his mom, and they're just like, they go crazy over Noah. So
yeah.
I call him Lady Killer. So they go crazy. And I actually read, and I told you this, but I'll share with everyone. Online, someone had put, I don't remember if it was Instagram or Twitter, but they were like, it was like a mom, because I saw the profile, and it was like, thank you, Noah, for that last gift when you left with your shirt open.
Oh, God. This so funny. Oh, my God. He and some of those boys couldn't get their shirts off fast enough. Him and Miles and their chiseled abs, and those guys are just MJ. Just good looking dudes, man. It's good to be young. Good to be young and fit.
So, and I can tell you, he is an amazing kid. So his personality is even bigger than what they showed on television, and he's just the sweetest kid. So
he is. He's
we
good
all know
too.
I love Noah. Totally gush over him. Okay, next question. All right, baby.
Yes.
We said, what's your favorite memory? Okay. So this is Hernandez_D. Okay. Troy, did you know she was the one? Karen, did you know he was the one?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say the same thing. I mean, it didn't take very long. I mean, I think you said it earlier that, I was there and I think everyone had this sort of open mind mentality, but, you know, things just kind of happen. They kind of synced up, they kind of line up. And you're right. I mean, when you have a first date that lasts, 2 or 3 days, you tend to just kind of settle into it. And I think that's kind of what, really sort of, you and I think settled into that pretty easily, kind of made sense. And as I look at the show and I see the different sequences, you can kind of see it just kind of moving down the road pretty quick. And so, yeah, I mean, within pretty short order, I will say I knew, and that's how I felt about it anyways.
Yeah, I second
So, yeah,
that.
that's a short answer, I guess. That's what I got on that one.
Yes. Okay. Oh, okay. I guess I'll answer this and then you can answer this, okay?
Okay. Yeah, I'm reading a couple
Uh,
of these comments. So good.
yeah. Oh, Trish says, hold on. As soon as they broke the bread together. Ha ha. Oh, well, let's elaborate on that. Trish is saying as soon as they broke the bread together. So the first night, the task at hand that Troy and I were given was to make a salad and garlic bread.
Yeah.
So you think out of everyone's tasks that they were given, Karen and Troy would have been the first ones that were done first.
Yeah. Yeah.
We kept the producer kept coming over to us saying, come on guys, let's go, hurry it up, come on. Because we took the longest because Troy and I were we were talking and talking and talking and talking and we weren't doing what we were supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Phil and those guys did like 4 different entrees or something. Gourmet meatballs. I'm over there trying to cut bread. So yes, I would say I was distracted, and I think Trish hit the nail on the head. I mean, yes, that was definitely.
Yeah. I will tell you I feel bad for the cast because they got raw bread.
Yeah.
Uncooked garlic bread. So
Weird.
sorry, guys. Sorry. Yes, Phil's meatballs were finished before the bread. Yes, Trish, we know this, Trish.
They were money. They were so good too. I still remember those meatballs.
I know. I think he's actually on here. Phil is actually on here.
No, is he? Hey, buddy.
I think he is. I think so. I think one of the names. I'm trying to read and talk and but I can't concentrate with you. So okay. So this is from Maria_Ma. Okay.
Maria.
Yes. Are you moving in together? Guys, we've just been together for 6 months.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, are you moving into people? Yeah, we just met. And also we met on a television show like in California. So
yes. So
yeah. The short answer is not anytime real soon.
Yeah, we're just together for 6 months. We are I mean, you guys can see what's happening on the screen. It continues through in real life. Decisions at some point will be have to made, but Troy and I still have 2 kids that are in regular school, not in college or already done with college. So those are things that, once we get one through school, then we'll decide about the other and then we'll make decisions. But guys, we've just been together for 6 months and we're hopefully enjoying it. So let us enjoy this. Let us enjoy this beginning.
That's right. That's right. We're still in that part.
Yes. Yeah. So what, okay, so someone's asking, oh, Connor, Your Honor, what is the weirdest fan interaction you've had since the show came out?
You want me to go?
Yes, go ahead, baby.
I'm pretty sure I told you this because once again, I'm pretty new to the social media world, but somebody reached out to me and she was just like, oh man, you're great on the show and I really love, you and Karen. And I was like, oh, thanks. And she's like, where do you live? And I was like, what? Like it's a big jump right there. So yeah, kind of that was a little creepy. So yeah, that's it's a little different for me. I'm sure you've had weirder stuff than that, but
yeah, I have. But when he told me that, I was like, oh, she's not just sliding into your DM. She wants to slide into your bed.
Something, I don't know. I was just like, yeah, okay, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I don't know. Anyways, I don't think she's on here.
Yes. For me, and I told you that this happened. I had someone find my home address.
Ooh.
and he sent me a message that he wanted to send flowers to me, and he actually wrote what my home address was. And that kind of,
Oh,
yeah, I had told you that, and that kind of freaked me out because this is my home. Like, I don't care if we're out in the street. I don't care if I'm having dinner. I don't care if I'm walking in the street. I don't care if I'm in the supermarket. I would love, I love interacting with any of the fans that have come up and, talk to us or any of that. But when it's my home, that's when my kids, so I had to have that taken care of. But that was that's already like crossing the line. And then when you ask my man what his address is, we're gonna
so
have we're gonna have issues.
so Karen, I'll finish up. I don't know how much longer we have, but I'll finish up a little story that happened in my meeting. I think I told you this, but obviously
Yeah.
these guys don't know it. But so at my company, it's a pretty decent sized company, and a lot of people know me from. Some people who know me have known me for a long time. 5, 10 years. Some of these folks, and of course, when I got there, a lot of people had seen the show. And people I didn't know. I mean, I knew some people had, some people hadn't, but. And so then, we're at this meeting for a whole week, and throughout the meetings, it's like a big sales convention, and you're out in the hallway, you're having breaks, and I'm just, and I'm a part of my job is actually doing a lot of the interaction with people. I do a lot of stuff on the main stage and kind of direct a lot of the stuff that's happening, and so I'd get people that were just like, anyway, so I hear people talking about a show, like what show you on, and it's kind of funny. So I told the story many, many times. Well, at one point in our week, we had this thing where, as part of the leadership team in our company, we were up on stage and we were kind of introducing ourselves, and people were asking, about, and I had a slide with 2 pictures, right? It was a picture of my kids and me from Thanksgiving or whatever, and then a picture of me and my motorcycle. Like, this is my family, and this is what I do for a living. And then I don't know why I thought to do this, and the forum was okay for me to kind of do this joke, but I was like, but I guess some of you guys have heard about my summer camp project or whatever the hell I refer to it as, And I said, and I think it's just time for me to, really kind of, I don't know what I said, set the record straight. So I said, without any further ado, Karen, come on out. And I'm on stage, and I look back, and there's this opening at the back of the stage where people would come out, and there was just like this audible gasp. And my daughter, Emma, works for the company. So she was there, and she told me later, she's like, even she thought there was a chance you were going to walk out on stage, and they thought, wouldn't that be a hoot if our company somehow arranged to fly you out to California? So that to me was one of the funnier things I personally had happened to me since this whole thing, and kind of it crossed over into my work life, which it's kind of it's a very public thing we're doing here, right? And the show was obviously a lot of people watched it. So anyways, that was kind of fun. So I'll try to leave that funny anecdote.
Thank you, my love, for including me in your work trip.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You would have loved it. It was pretty funny, actually. And there are a lot of people like, oh my God, I really thought she was going to walk out. And I was like, I don't know. I sold it. Anyway, I got a big laugh, just so you know. It killed. That bit killed.
Yes. All right. So we've gone over a few minutes here. So I think that was great ending to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only the people that watch this Instagram Live know that story. So it's just between us. Well, I'm very grateful for everybody that watched, and I'm so happy to see all of our friends from the show, and even Scotty with his creepy questions. And thankfully, Joel and Trish and Stephanie, the rest of them are very, appropriate. And Scott, we all know where he falls in the appropriate scale. I wouldn't say inappropriate, but he pushes the boundaries because he's just the greatest guy. He's so Scott. No one is more Scott than Scott. That is true.
Yes. All right. All right, baby.
Well,
I'll talk to you in a few minutes.
yeah, we can talk some more about us. But well, Karen, thanks for setting this up. I know I'm not great at this, but you were great, and thank you for leading me through it. And so I hope everybody that watched enjoyed it. And let's do it again sometime.
Absolutely, my love. All right.
Bye.
Bye. Good night. Bye.